Boom. Cholo Trucker here, Los Tres Chingones Boxing, man. Shout outs to my brothers in crime, one Mr. Mike Zavala and David Contreras. Um, Before we get going, I want to say we got a couple of t-shirts. Um, and we will definitely be rocking those babies, man. I'm telling you guys. Also, want to give a nice big shout out to boxing historian one, Mr. David Martinez. Man, this guy keeps sending me some great stuff. I'm right here looking at a nice little packet he sent me from his boxing website, dmboxing.com. It's of Jack Dempsey versus Jess Willard. Man, I'm telling you, this is some great stuff, man. You guys got to go check out this gentleman's website. That is dmboxing.com. You guys will find just a lot of great stuff. You guys like the history of boxing? You guys got to go check it out. I'm telling you guys, man. Thank you to one Mr. David Martinez. Again, www.dmboxing.com, and I will be in contact with you soon, brother. If you watch this. Um, all right, so don't got a lot of time, but the time that I do have, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of what happened over the weekend. Or at least what I saw over the weekend. What's up, James Ortega? Uh, Real quick, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, but the co-main event for the ladies was pretty built up. The Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. It was a little bit of a letdown. It wasn't that bad of a fight, but as much as they hyped it up, as much as they're going back and forth with one another, um, the fight to me did not live up to the hype. It just didn't. As much as they hyped it up, it did not live up to it. Not like the main event, because at one point I was actually more excited to watch the co-main event just because these girls were really, hyping it up, but it did not live up to it. As far as Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields, that was a good fight. That was a good fight. I was really entertained by that fight, and honestly, I was pretty impressed with um, with both of them, but more Clarissa Shields. Um, she was in foreign territory, but she went out there. She did not look nervous or scared at all. She pretty much looked like a bully, to tell you guys the truth, man. At least that's what I saw. Um, I thought it was a good fight, entertaining fight. Um, Savannah Marshall just doesn't look like she's got power to hurt Clarissa Shields at all, especially those little pity patty jabs that she was throwing with her elbow going up into the air. I just wasn't too sure what all that was about. Now she is, the bigger, taller girl. She was backing Shields up, getting Shields up against the ropes. It was a good fight, but no doubt in my mind of who won that fight, and that's Clarissa Shields. Now, where do they go from here? I don't know. Should they run it back? Man, you know what? Look, I won't be I wouldn't be 100% for it, and I wouldn't be 100% against it. To me, it's just whatever. If they want to run it back, I'm cool with it. And if they don't want to run it back, I'm cool with it as well. But no, what a good showcase for the ladies, man. Shout outs to both Marshall and Shields for going out there and putting on a good fight. I really enjoyed it. Um, like I said, should they run it back? I think Shields still beats her. There's no doubt in my mind who wins that fight again. What's up, Joaquin? Spencer, had to close my window, man, just because damn dog started barking. Alicia and Shields, my favorite fights of the weekend. Are they? I would say Shields, yes. Alicia Baumgartner and McLean Mayer, nah, not so much, man. I was expecting more of that fight. Just on the simple fact that they hyped it up so much. It wasn't a boring fight, but it wasn't a great fight. But look, Clarissa Shields, man, hats go off to her. She went out there. She looked like the bully, man. Even though Marshall was bigger and did back her up a little bit here and there, no doubt about it. Clarissa Shields went in there and took that victory, man. And shout outs to her. Little bit of talks here and there about them running it back. Eh, whatever. It's if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, no big loss, man. I really don't think Marshall can beat Shields. I think I'm sorry. I think Shields beats her probably uh probably even in a more fashionable way. But yeah, look, that was a good fight. Good fight, man. I really enjoyed that. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit about. Well, you know what? I'll get to that in just a second, man. Let's get to the co-main event of the PBC card, the Caleb Plant and Anthony the Dog Durrell. Now, look, Anthony Durrell has been calling out Caleb Plant for a while. As a matter of fact, when Caleb Plant fought Caleb Truex, Anthony Durrell did a video talking all kinds of smack on Caleb Plant, right? Saying like that should be me in there. Now, that was well over a year ago. Durrell is well past his prime. And whether people know it or not, Anthony Durrell has been through some wars in the ring. So it's not just his age, but the battles that he's been through in the ring as well has taken a toll on his body. Now I get it. I get it. He's going in there with confidence. He's going in there saying, some silly stuff like I'll never lose to a white boy and stuff like that. And I don't know what people want to think about Caleb Plant. Look, to me, is he an elite fighter? No. But is he a good boxer? Yes. What's up, Vanessa? Gracias. Pete Town. Darrell got smashed. Yeah. Yeah, Darrell did get smashed. Well past his prime. I can't even remember his last fight, to tell you guys the truth, man. Now, maybe one of you guys might know this. I did not bother to look it up, but was Darrell's last fight David Benavides? Maybe he had a fight after that. I'm not really sure, but it's been a long time since I seen him in the ring. What's up, Andres? So I'll say it again. Is Caleb Plant a great elite boxer? No. No, he is not. But he is good. I ain't going to take that away. He is good. And I think he can compete with some of the top dogs around 168. right? There's the talk of hey, he should be fighting David Benavidez. They should fight each other. Look, while a lot of people might favor David Benavidez, I wouldn't be too surprised if Caleb Plant comes out with the victory. He's a pretty good fighter. Not great, not elite, but he's pretty good. Now, the thing about Caleb Plant is that this guy keeps on taking a lot of time off. Yes, I understand the hand injury problems that he's had. So I understand that. But this guy keeps taking a lot of time off after every fight. But then again, man, that just seems to be a PBC thing. And this is not for me to come on here and start attacking the PBC. But that's just the reality. This past weekend fights kind of boring. I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't say that, Andres. I was entertained, not with all the fights, but I was entertained, man. I thought Savannah Marshall versus Clarissa Shields. I thought that was entertaining. And we'll get to some of these other fights. The fight that we're talking about right here, the Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell. I thought it was somewhat entertaining. I wasn't like at the edge of my seat, but I thought it was, somewhat entertaining. But now, where does Caleb Plant go from here? Don't know. Don't know. Demetrius Boo Boo Andre came out and stated that he wants Caleb Plant, but he wants a tune-up fight before he fights Caleb Plant. Now, I don't know what the hell that's all about, dog. He is 34, 35 years old. I don't know how much time this fool can be wasting. Because he needs to take the ring rust off. Why do you have ring rust? Dog, you should be in that ring. Why do you even have ring rust? What's with all these fighters, man, that need to come back and have a tune-up fight to get the ring rust off? Why do you have ring rust? Why aren't you staying busy? Even if it's a complete tomato can that you're staying busy against, because look what you're saying now. You're saying, oh, I want this fight. This will be a big fight. And yeah, it'd probably be your biggest fight. It would be your biggest fight. But you need to fight a tune-up fight, basically a tomato can, which is, in all reality, man, is your whole career. Been fighting a bunch of nobodies. But why not stay busy fighting a bunch of nobodies, so when something like this happens, there is no, oh, I need to get the ring rust off. Why do you got ring rust for? You couldn't have one fight this year yet? You haven't fought this year. You can't have one fight a few months back against a complete nobody, which is pretty much your career. But yeah, let's see when Caleb Plant gets back into the ring. I do like Caleb Plant. All right, I do like him. I think the guy does got some skills, and I do want to see who he fights next. I do want to see what happens after this. So congrats to him. But again, you're coming off a knockout loss to Canelo Alvarez, and look how much time. Look how much time you took to get back into the ring. Yeah, Anthony the Dog Durrell, yeah, he's, it's a notable name, but damn, this dude is well past his prime. He's shot out. Let me see. My bad. Besides the women ones, were orale. Okay. Let me see. I was interested in the AB mayor fight after AB called her a horse face Karen. Hello, nasty knockouts in Plant and Wilder fights. Yeah, Joaquin. Then he doesn't want Plant excuses. I don't know, man. I look. This guy is just about out of time, Holmes. He's just about out of time. He's 35, I believe he is. And he needs a tune-up fight to fight Caleb Plant. Come on, man. You know what? David Benavidez is going to be fighting here in the very near future. How about you just make that fight happen afterwards? When you're confident, you'll fight anybody anytime. All right, so let's just move on to the main event for that fight because it didn't last long, man. It was one hitter quitter. I saw a lot of people talking masa saying, "Hey, you know what? This is like a fake knockout. It looked like he kind of mailed it in." I'm talking about Robert Helenius getting knocked out by Deontay Wilder. Hey, homie, I'm telling everybody right now, I did not pay $75 to watch this. If you did, hey, a toda madre, handle your business. I was, yeah, I was disappointed, man. I wanted Helenius to put a better fight forward. But again, it's not like the guy's got a lot of head movement. It's not like he's, great at anything, right? He's just kind of tall. He's got some good punches here and there. The fact that he's main eventing a pay-per-view is already a joke, Holmes. So he kind of rushes in, he gets caught, he goes down, and that's about it. What did we learn about this? To me, nothing really. To me, all this was just for Wilder to get past Helenius just so they could make the Wilder versus Andy Ruiz fight. Yeah, Jose R. That's all to me. That's all this really was just let's get Wilder back into the winning bracket. The fact that his pay-per-view is laughable, but it's all right. Let's get him back into the winning bracket and let's make a fight with him and Andy Ruiz. Yes, Alexander Usyk's name is being thrown around. I'm telling you guys right now, man, I would be highly, highly surprised if that fight happens. I really don't think that fight's happening, at least not next. I believe we see Wilder versus Ruiz, and that's all this was. From what I see, from what I was standing, all this was let's get Wilder a victory, and now we can really pump up Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. And so be it. I'm not against that fight. Let's see. Usyk didn't show up in the Wilder fight. He said he was going to show up. Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, I didn't see him there. But yeah, look, let's I want to watch it. I want to see Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. So hopefully that fight can be made, man. They're both on that side of they're both there in the PBC. Not sure what's happening with the PBC, what's going to be happening once the year ends. Fox basically looks like they're out. We keep on hearing rumors of what's going on with Showtime. So we'll see. We'll see where the PBC ends up going. They're gonna go somewhere. Right? They're gonna go somewhere. Ruiz versus Wilder in Dallas will sell out. Um, talking about Cowboys, the Cowboy Stadium. Yeah, I mean, depending on how many seats, they limit it to, right? I was at the Andy Ruiz versus King Kong Ortiz fight here in downtown LA. And it was a rocking crowd, man. I was surprised. However, most of the fans that I saw there were Pitbull Cruz fans. So if they get a pretty good undercard, or it doesn't even need to be a good undercard, just a pretty good co-main event. How about that? Like you get another, if you get Pitbull Cruz to be in the co-main event, yeah, yeah. And this fight, Wilder versus Ruiz, yeah, there is going to be interest in this fight, definitely. It's a pretty damn interesting heavyweight fight. Let's see. Ruiz better be ready. Wilder is entertaining because he got knockout power. The knockout of Hellenius looked legit to me. By the Ruiz is better skilled, faster, hand speed, but the only X factor is how hard he trains. Well, I would just say that Ruiz needs to know going in there that if he loses this fight, this is his way back to the top, I guess. The knockout did look legit to me as well, because Hellenius is a big dude and he's going forward. With him moving forward and the cut and the punch coming back to you, yeah, yeah, right. Just because the hand didn't extend all the way doesn't mean that you weren't able to get a bunch of power behind that punch, especially if the body is actually moving towards the punch. And it's not like he was slipping the punch. It's not like the punch, hit half the glove, his glove with defense, or no, nothing like that. So yeah, it did look legit to me. But I hope this fight materializes between Ruiz and Wilder. I definitely want to see that fight, and I think it'd be huge for the PBC to make this fight happen, because now you actually have two legit heavyweights to put up against one another. Unlike, Charles Martin versus King Kong Ortiz on pay-per-view, or Deontay Wilder versus Robert Hellenius, or Chris Arreola versus Andy Ruiz. And these are all pay-per-view fights. Chale, dog. But now you got two guys coming off of a win. Should it be pay-per-view? I mean, in my opinion, no, but oh well. Oh well. This is your best argument to make a heavyweight pay-per-view. There's no title for it, but oh well. Hopefully this fight does materialize. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about I'm running out of time here. Let's talk about Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Okay, man, check this out, homie. This was the most entertaining Devin Haney fight I have ever seen. There could be an argument that maybe Jorge Linares against Devin Haney was more entertaining. Look, it's right there. To me, Devin Haney is a very skillful, good boxer, but he's not that entertaining to watch. However, this fight was entertaining. I was entertained by this fight. George Kambosos came, and look, I I don't know how George Kambosos, man, how he didn't get tired by the fourth, fifth round because this guy was all jittery. This guy kept moving, trying different angles. And I don't know if anybody saw this, but he would keep on switching his stance from orthodox to southpaw. However, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I ever saw him throw a punch, let alone a combination when he was in a southpaw stance. He would switch to southpaw. That he was doing, absolutely. But he switched to southpaw. I see him, just move his head, move around, jump around, and then he'd get back to orthodox. But he looked just very jumpy, very jittery. Made it exciting, don't get me wrong, Holmes. It made the fight exciting. I was like, damn, okay. This dude's jumping all over the place. Looked like it made Devin Haney a little uncomfortable as well. Made Devin Haney engage. Now, I don't want to say it was a great fight. I am saying that was, in my opinion, at least to me personally, the most entertaining Devin Haney fight I've seen. Linares was good too. Don't get me wrong. But that was a great well, now I want to say great, but that was a good fight, man. I look, I was entertained. No way did I see George Kambosos winning that fight. I saw him moving a lot. Hey, dog, that vato was just like moving his feet and moving, back and forth, like a straight out windshield wiper that you put on high, Holmes. Let's see. This was tune-up fight for Haney. He's got to fight the big dogs now. The way he looked and weigh in, I think he really should go up to 140. So the thing is, I believe it's his dad. I believe it was his dad. Or maybe it was Devin himself. I don't really remember. Came out and said that they felt good. I think it was Devin Haney himself. Came out, he said he felt good. And he's not ready to leave 135. He said he didn't have trouble making the weight. I agree with you, Joaquin. I agree. He looked skin and bones trying to make 135. It did not look healthy for him. Look, maybe he's lying, and when I say he's lying, maybe I shouldn't say lying, dog, okay? Because I don't want to come out and say that he means it with malice. I'm just saying he probably just has to say that. He feels like he has to say that just so he won't be predictable. So, yeah, I don't want to say he's lying, but he's probably just coming out and saying, like, nah, man. You know what? I felt good at 135. I felt strong. I felt healthy. I felt ready. No, I don't have problems making the weight. And maybe he did have problems making the weight, but he doesn't want to come out and say that and put that out there. Let me see. Poor dude tried everything, couldn't do nothing. Yeah, nah, dog. Look, he was just moving all over the place, man. I'm talking about George Kambosos. He was just moving all over the place. And again, if you guys go back and watch that fight, I don't think he ever threw a punch in the southpaw stance. Yet he switched to southpaw numerous of times every round, by the way. He would switch to southpaw, move his head, move his body, and then go back to orthodox. But he was all over the place. Man, he was all over the place. But it did seem like it got Devin Haney to engage. And no doubt about it, Haney did win the fight. And I'm glad he did. And I'm glad this is over with. Now, George Kambosos, where does he go from here? Look, he became somewhat of a notable name. I believe he got maybe one more meaningful fight to show that he belongs. Um, maybe somebody like Tank Davis or something, right? But we never know if these fights are ever gonna be made, obviously. But just to me, just my opinion, man, if he loses again, I think it's done. Right? Nobody really knew who he was from the Thunder down under, south of the equator. Right? It pretty much looked like he knew he had to win this fight. To stay relevant, I think he needs to win his next fight, whatever his next fight is. I think people will pay attention to his next fight. How much do they pay attention after that? That's a different story. But to his very next fight, as long as he doesn't take a long time out of the ring, if we don't see him fight in the next 8 months, and I don't even know why he needs to wait that long, then he is going to start flirting with people starting to forget or just not care about him. But if he wants to stay relevant, he's got to get in that ring, homie, before the summer of next year. I want to see Haney versus Cruz. That'd be good. That'd be good. Again, I would favor Haney just because he's taller, longer. But I mean, I wouldn't bet my money that Haney's gonna win. I would just favor him. But that'd be good. Where does Haney go from here? That's another thing. Where does he go from here? Was he just saying that about 135 and he's really planning on moving up to 140? What's up, Vince? You know what, Vince? That was a good fight, man. Gary A. Russell, who is the brother of Gary Russell Jr., he lost. And that fight was basically made for him to get experience and to win the fight. I think he did get experience, but for dang sure, he did not win that fight. He got dropped. He got rocked. It was a good fight, and I hope he learned a lot from it because I do like Gary A. Jr. I'm sorry, Gary A. Russell. But he does have a lot to learn, and that's all right. That's okay. I just hope he did learn from this. But with that, Chingones, I gotta go ahead. I gotta check up out of here, man. But yeah, that was basically the fights over the weekend. Again, Wednesday, be back on here in Espanol. Be back on here on Friday, and I am gonna be doing a few interviews that I'll be dropping hopefully next week, if not the week after. And also, William Zapata versus Jojo Diaz in San Diego. Los Tres Chingones Boxing will be there live. We will definitely be all up in there, man. We got press passes to go, so we will definitely be there in San Diego. That is October 29th. I myself am going to be at some fights this Saturday. I'll be doing a lot more promotion for that. Again, I got a press pass, front row seat. Gracias, man. I'm going to do everything I can to try to get some fighters on, even if it's some late interviews or what have you. But hell yeah, Los Tres Chingones Boxing to the next round. You guys be good.